All right. Back in the saddle.
All right.
But yeah, whenever I try to look and find just, a bio or something on the dude, nothing. And what I love is how everybody reports on him is iconic, legendary. And I'm like,
that's the shit that he called himself.
So I'm just going to start calling myself tall.
Yeah. The uber tall DJ Mike Swift.
The physical giant Mike Swift.
The self-proclaimed 7-footer. How do you self-proclaim? That's what that nigga did. All right. let me see. Oh, that's right. I believe I emailed myself a bunch of shit on him. Let me find that real quick.
But in August 2003, we found more military documents despite his first departure, with another arrest citation stating he threatened to kill his partner and her platoon sergeant with a semi-automatic Bushmaster. In 2005, Johnson again bargains with the Army for a second other than honorable discharge to avoid court.
Do you know me? But if you don't, you're about to.
Okay. All right, well, shit, let's get to it. Ready?
Yep.
I think you need to say clearly what happened.
Who gives a fuck? I don't care if you personally kick Candace Owens and her stanky
cray.
No good thing starts with, I was thinking about my ex.
He ain't learned his lesson. That's a brother ain't gonna learn shit.
I know this is gonna be about you, and I don't care.
Let's keep this shit funky.
Indeed. Let us indeed keep this shit funky. What's happening here? What's unpoppin'? I am T Storm. Welcome to the Unpopular Opinion Show, or rather Unpoppin' Show, home of unpopular opinions. Again, I'm T Storm, and joined by always my brother, my partner, DJ Mike Swift. What's happening, fam?
Nothing, man. Goes to Teddy Riley. Jacked up everything, so we late starting again, but we're here, and I'm only slightly frustrated.
Got you. Teddy gonna get tired of us calling it the ghost of Teddy. Like, God damn it, you gonna leave my name out of here? But you know what? Now, speaking of which, at some point, I think we do owe Teddy Riley an apology. Okay. Because if you watch Versuz now, you see what his vision was.
Oh yeah. He
saw it bigger than, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, there's that.
We'll put some respect Teddy, on his name.
Some respect. He's an innovator, and he was like, yo, this is bigger than just, this shit on the phone. But he was trying to do all that sound, all that marvelous sound, and was relying on an aux cord to make it happen. And it just was like, nope. So, Teddy, we appreciate you.
Yeah, we'll start putting some respect on your name.
I mean, real talk. I wonder if they would revisit Teddy Riley and Babyface again to do, because the production value that the Locks and Dipset and Kane and KRS-One had, the stage. I was there for that one. I was in the Barclay for Kane and KRS-One, and I witnessed the ultimate disrespect from DJ Scratch. Good Lord.
So, I haven't watched it yet. What happened?
Okay, so KRS-One and Big Daddy Kane are longtime friends. Back in the days, I'm gonna give a little history on this, and then we'll move on. But back in the days, while KRS-One was beefing with the Juice Crew that Big Daddy Kane was down with, he stayed out of it because he said KRS had actually, him and rest in peace to Miss Melody, helped him move out of his mama's house into his crib. They were really friends. They were like tight like that. So he stayed out of the Juice Crew beef, right? So that's that. But they have been cool all this time. Fast forward, many years later, now they announced this Versuz battle. Big Daddy Kane selects DJ Scratch to be his DJ behind the scenes, behind him. And KRS has Kid Capri both titans,
Right.
legends in their own right. Kid Capri, who is a party rocker, he gets on that microphone. He's known for like quick mixes, you jump from record to record, and to make a party exciting. He's known for that. He's done radio, he's done parties. You remember him from Def Comedy Jam, all those type of things. DJ Scratch is a assassin. I'm talking like a ninja when it comes to cuts and tricks and battle. Like he is that dude. He is that battle DJ. No one wants to mess with. And he's sharp. I seen like I picked up some I can't do shit he does, but he puts on weighted gloves and practices with them to make his touch lighter on vinyl. He's that into the shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So he's an assassin when it comes to that. No fucking what DJ Scratch. So in any case, he has this routine that he does. Big Daddy Kane's line when he says Friday the 13th, I'm gonna play Jason. They do that live on the stage. And he does his thing. He goes down under the turntables, comes back up with the Jason mask. And then Kane, continues to right on point, continues the record from that line on. They finish. At the end of that song, KRS looks over to DJ Kid Capri, kind of jokingly goes, hey kid, you got something you want to say to that? Right? And KRS-One goes, man, ain't nobody fucking Scratch. And he goes through it. Boo, that's fine. Then Scratch continues to try to bait, Kid Capri into some sort of battle. And, initially he's like he's saying little slick things. And being in the house, I'm watching Kane's facial expressions like, nah, this ain't what we're supposed to be doing, dude. Like, nah, stop.
Right.
Quit it. And he's trying to get, and then, so Kane, and then Scratch now addresses KRS-One as they're about to take the stage. He's like, yo, KRS, we did all the elements of hip hop, right? We did the break dance and we did the MC battle freestyle, and yo, we gotta do some DJ shit. What do you think? KRS goes, nah. Almost word for word. Nah, this is Versuz. I'm not here to battle you. I'm here to battle Kane, not you. You here to work for Kane, not battle Kid Capri. Let's stay in our place. Let's go. And he goes, and then he don't take the cue from KRS to leave it alone. He goes even further, goes, you scared. And KRS goes, ain't nobody scared. Y'all running out of records. Fuck that. Yo, Kid Capri. And he goes into Love Chick. Kills it. And so it should have stopped. So he had already gone too far. It should have stopped there. So by now he's corrected by both the DJ, the MC he's working for, and the opponent. Both on stage, live in front of everybody. And then he goes, Kane lets him do a little routine, right? He puts Kid Capri's name in the routine, like sucker DJs, going on. And now Big Daddy Kane is running over with the mic like, nah, stop, quit, no, don't do that. Oh, don't do that? Okay, and then there's another routine, and it was just...
It was grandstanding.
Yeah. The key phrase, to quote KRS-One, was, let's get in our place. In other words, you out of pocket right now. So after all that, at the end of it, I watch everybody's Instagram. So Kid Capri posts up, like, hey, I'm just basically I try to remain class, and show some class in here. And DJ Scratch put up some sort of document that anybody could have just typed and was like, yo, this is the run of show. It included a dance battle, MC battle, DJ battle, this, da. And he claimed that KRS-One changed the order, and then Kid Capri said he didn't know nothing about the DJ battle and looked like he was being aggressive for no reason, this, da. By the way, on that same post, he disabled any comments from it because he didn't want any heat from it. Then again, later, like the next day, he posted up a video saying that, like, Kid Capri, because Kid Capri did a freestyle, And he was like, oh, he was taking shots at Big Daddy Kane. That's why I had to go at him. He really didn't, but he made himself look, he looked like an aggressive jerk in front of everybody.
Yeah.
He's like he was being too aggressive. He's good at what he does. There's no denying that. But it was out of pocket. It was out of pocket. And if they had announced we're gonna have a DJ battle, it wouldn't have been that type of battle. Kid Capri, that's not his strong point. That's not what he does. He wouldn't have. I'd be like, yo, I'm a breakdance battle with up against the original Breakers, New York Breakers. I can't even do a handstand anymore. Like, what would I look? You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't a good look.
And look, and God, we didn't even set out to talk about this. That was one of the biggest frustrations that I would run into when I was out in the clubs. Is like, I've never been a cut scratch DJ. I got a couple of little things in my repertoire, but I'm a party guy. Like, I blend records, I talk on the mic, I do that thing. But people never really understood the difference between the two. They just hear DJ and they think everybody is, like the Invisible Scratch Pickles or something. Like, no, like everybody's is not that.
And then there's those guys that do all those cut scratch routines, can't do some of them can't do parties because the famous thing is that in fact I did a rooftop party over at Grandmaster Flash. Shout out to my mentor, Grandmaster Flash. And he had to check us like, hey, no, all that cutting stuff, man. We got older women here. They don't want to hear that shit. Like, straight up.
But that's real.
So yeah. And so it goes for in a party. You can't do all that. It's only but so much you can do. It's meant for certain things, for shows, it's for battles. And if you're in a venue that allows you to showcase that sort of thing, it's for a short period of time.
Yeah, no, you can't beat juggle the record for 3 minutes. Like, nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to.
Well, shout out to Funk Flex who drops bombs on the radio, but in a club, you don't want to hear that either. So
look, and I again, we're going long on this, but so there's the turntablists, right? Like a scratch. There's the party rocker like Kid Capri, and then there's the mixtape DJ. I remember when I was in Tallahassee, and I'm not gonna say this person's name because I respect them, but they hired a famous mixtape DJ to come in and play the club. And all of the DJs in the area were there that night, kind of hanging out because we wanted to see this guy. This guy was the worst. I mean, he was the worst. And like the patrons, they knew me, they knew the other DJs. They were coming up to us because we were kind of grouped together. They were coming up to us, was like, yo, can one of y'all get on? Because this dude is horrible. It was bad, T. It was so bad after about 30 minutes, I was like, hey, y'all, I'm out. I can't even watch this happen no more.
Yeah. It was almost like the DJ didn't have a clue. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, it was exactly like that. Like he had no clue at all how to do what he was doing.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Moving on. Shout out to congratulations to LL Cool J and Jay-Z, who were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Jay-Z on the series of speech, I've seen some clips. I haven't the whole thing as of yet, but he made a point to mention Dame Dash during his speech.
Okay.
And said that, I know we don't see eye to eye, but I could never take away your accomplishments, which I thought was some grown man shit to do. It's hours later, he also posted up, hey, and I forgot to shout out Jazzo, who's my hometown hero and the reason why I'm here, you know what I mean? So he didn't forget. And
the inspiration of his style in the 90s, that word flipping style that he did, that was all Jazzo.
Yeah, yeah. So it's cool. I saw also a clip of Eminem performing with LL Cool J. I think it was I'm Bad. He was doing I'm Bad. Was Bad or Rock the Bells? One of the two. And M was doing the verse, and LL was the hype man. I thought that was the dopest shit I've ever seen. Like, yo, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I looked up to both those guys, man. But LL Cool J was definitely when back as a teenager, seeing another teenager do his thing like that and sustain for all these years. I mean, that's
for sure. For sure. Like L kind of is rap. You know what I mean? I wanted to put out another record.
I think he's working on some. I saw some clips. I follow him again. I follow his Instagram. I've seen some photos and stuff of him in the studio. There was something fly he was doing around New York City, like right in the middle of COVID. He would post these videos up, the mask and a hoodie pulled tight over his face, just out in different neighborhoods all over New York City. Like he'd pop up in Bed-Stuy. He'd be on the train. He'd be in the Bronx. He was like everywhere, just by himself on his camera, not saying anything, just looking. He had these inspirational quotes saying, "You can do it." I thought it was the fly shit.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. Shout out to both of them cats, man. They've certainly earned it. And I'm gonna say this, and please let's not go down a rabbit hole on it, but shout to both of them. They deserve it. If I was building my top 10, neither one of them would be in it.
What?
Top 10,
really?
Top 10 lyricists. Neither one of them would be in it. Top 10 record sales, of course. Top 10 entertainers, absolutely. Top 10 lyricists, no.
Okay, we have to save that for another day. If you're watching this, please feel free in the comment section to cuss out Mike Swift and tell us who your top 10 is. Because I'm curious to know. We can do this in the comment section because really.
In fact, I'll drop my top 10 in the comment section. My top 10 lyricists.
Okay.
And then we can go from there.
Okay. Moving on.
Someone who does not make the top 10 of anybody's list. T-Storm's favorite legendary hip hop hero DJ.
It's a bad president.
Yeah, all of that. So there is we have mentioned this gentleman on the show before previously. Never really got all into it, but we did mention if I can remember the episode number, I will tell you to go back and look at it. Maybe we'll just put that in the comments or whatever, so you can kind of go back and look. But there's a gentleman by the name of Grandmaster Jay. No relation to Grandmaster Flash or Jam Master Jay. Just kind of took their two names and butted them together to make it sound like we knew who he was. Like Lil Nas X. But Grandmaster Jay has been in the headlines of recent for being a black militia leader for a group called the NFAC, the Not Effing Around Committee. Yes, that's the real name. Yes, there were hundreds, if not thousands, of black folks following him. There's been a couple of incidents, but he was arrested last year, I believe it was, for pointing a weapon at police officers. And he's facing up to 20 years in prison. I believe he has both federal and state charges pending.
He does.
I'm not sure if he's made it, if he was able to get out on bail or not. I'm not sure. He's been kind of quiet on the internet. But I said last year when we were talking about this guy, he's problematic. I don't think he was very suitable. Not to say that a black militia is not needed. That could be debated. But encouraging African Americans to legally own, to arm themselves and learn how to use your weapons and stuff like that. That's not a bad thing. The issue was the person that was leading this movement is not a stable person at all. And there's some people, like I posted this video on Instagram, saying that, it's NFAC, he's finding out who else ain't fucking around. the FBI, the feds, basically. In any case, and I got some comments like, "Oh no, he was set up. Oh no, they had to get him. They had to quiet him. They had to shut him up. He's not that important."
So so we're gonna get into it, right? Like obviously that's what we do. But I have to. I'd be remiss if I didn't say this. I think gun ownership is a good idea. I think gun education is an even better idea. I think public displays of the ability to defend and protect your community is a good idea when it's necessary. But the idea of having people marching around as a paramilitary unit in black with multiple magazines and rifles and all of this, I don't think that's necessarily a good idea, right? I get why people show up to do that. I'm with you on that. I'm with, coming together, power to the people, and let's rally together behind these incidents of police brutality against African American people. But it's a better way to do it than what was being done. What was being done, in my opinion, was reckless. And the federal government and the state government agrees because they filed charges against this gentleman for pointing his weapon at a federal officer. And I found the photo, and I'm going to put it up here. I got to enlarge it just a little bit so you can see it, but I am going to put it up so you can see it here. It was a federal agent on a rooftop.
They were rallying outside. Was it a courthouse of some sort or something? They were standing around. At least more than a dozen people, armed.
Yes.
Okay. And I get the hypocrisy of the white boys do it, and then okay, yes, and they may not get that same type of pushback. I get it, but that's where we are in this country. That's what happens. Expected, right? So you have to be even that much more on your P's and Q's when you're, if I'm armed, I got to make sure that all my ducks are in a row. If I'm traveling through the country from state to state, I want each law in each state to know, okay, I got to unload it and put it in the trunk and lock it up. Okay, now I'm good. I can pull over. I can put, all the different things. There's a lot of steps you got to go through to know the laws in each state that you're going to be in if you're carrying legally. If you're breaking the law, then it don't matter. But you know what I'm saying? All the folks standing outside a court building or whatever it was, it's not like they was having a picnic.
Right. And look, I to your point, if you want to be effective, you got to be buttoned up, right? Like that's just the long and the short of it. Yeah. But this gentleman, there was a federal officer on the top of the building. If you haven't heard the story, we'll give you the background real quick and catch you up. Federal officer on a building on a rooftop, Grandmaster Jay with his rifle, flashlight attached to his rifle, flashlight on, points the gun up at the federal officer on the rooftop. Now, Grandmaster Jay's thing, and I can't remember where I read this or saw this, but he said, I have my flashlight on the end of my gun. I was using my flashlight to see. Okay. Yeah. That's pretty stupid to me, but all right.
Yes.
Federal government did not take it that way. They took it as him pointing a firearm at a federal officer because he did point a firearm at a federal officer. And he has been indicted on a few charges, and I'm trying to find the charges. Scroll.
So there's so much to unpack, where we know the name Grandmaster Jay from in the first place. Like many people just starting to hear about him from the NFAC, but I've heard of him years prior when he was trying to pass off this product called Beams as some sort of DJ equipment and had basically stolen Grandmaster Jay, DJ Jazzy Jeff's routine was armed. it's a funny video for you to look at. But in any case, I want to play some audio from Wave 3 News out of Louisville, Kentucky, because they're the first news organization I've seen that actually did a thorough background on Mr. Grandmaster Jay. So check it out.
Grandmaster is expected here at the courthouse for those state charges tomorrow, and then he'll face a federal judge on Monday. But who is Grandmaster? Here's what we found.
Do you know me? Well, if you don't, you're about to.
From DJ to YouTube blogger, and later, the leader of the self-proclaimed militia group, the NFAC. The many faces of the grandiose Grandmaster Jay.
We are going to burn this mother down.
Leading armed protests in cities across America, including Louisville.
So no, I don't expect to come anywhere to get arrested for anything because I don't break the law.
The FBI disagreed, arresting Grandmaster Jay, or John Fitzgerald Johnson, for this. Cameras catching him pointing an AR rifle at agents and police on a rooftop downtown. This exclusive video of the moments directly after. He'll now face a federal and state judge on felonies in the upcoming days.
Now you got to go into the toolbox and take out something a lot stronger.
The FBI, though, is still investigating for something we found buried in his military records, too. Discharged from the Army not once, but twice. Johnson had somehow managed to re-enlist despite the first other than honorable discharge. We got his records straight from the Army, along with his numerous military arrests.
The first, in March 1995, accused of punching a woman in the face with a closed fist before pulling out a shotgun from his trunk and threatening to kill the security guards who'd kicked him out of a club.
Can we pause right there?
In May 1999, another arrest.
All right. So I will preface this by saying I am not, Mr. I'm no Colin Noir, right? Like I'm not Mr. Firearms. However, I think we can all agree that a guy who would punch a chick in the face and then whip a shotgun out of his trunk because he was pissed off at the club probably shouldn't be the poster child of black militia. Just putting that out there.
I think we can agree to that. Yes, I think so. And it goes on. So he was in armed services. I'm not sure which branch, the Army and something else. Got kicked out twice. Not sure how that's possible. Both less than honorable discharge. Then comes out and changes his name to Grandmaster Jay and endorses this Beams thing. I don't even know. Like he just did a video. I don't know, even understand it. But that's what back in, what was it, like 2011, something like that. I remember hearing about him and seeing it was like a bunch of DJs like, who the hell is this guy? Grandmaster Flash was like, I'm sorry, I don't know who you are. You claim to have been around or whatever the case. I have no idea who you are. But he claims he's been around since, he was one of the founding fathers of hip hop and this and that. And I've seen clips of him talking very braggadocious and just arrogant, just arrogant. It's like, really, dude.
It's one clip. And I think you sent me this clip. And he is in a club getting ready to go on, and he's on the mic and he talks for about 10 minutes. This is about this is hip hop, that is hip hop, and blah, 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 blah. And then he gets on, and it's the worst thing I've ever heard. I mean, he's trying to beat juggle, and it's awful. It's not working. And then he did the thing that I hate to see DJs do. Blame the equipment. Blame the equipment.
Serato. It's Serato. It's this is what happens. Like, okay.
I was just like, oh, see, bro, like you can suck because I've sucked. I've been booed. Like I have sucked in the club. You can suck, but just take it. Just own it. Like I sucked that night. Don't be like, oh, the turntables was wobbling or something he said, but it was just like, come on, bro.
Serato. He was like, yo, Serato is the fall of DJs. That's just terrible. In case. So there's that. Then watching him like morph himself into this militia leader, I clip and I can't find it anymore. But there was a video it was on his channel where he has like a hip hop blend of some mix playing or whatever for, full 30 seconds. He walks into frame with all that gear and shit on, that black militia gear and mask and headgear, all these different things. And then in front of the camera, he just starts taking the stuff off, puts his weapons, with weapons and everything. He's walking around with 2 long guns also. And I was like, why are you walking around with more than one weapon? Like big ass guns. What are you, Schwarzenegger? In any case, he takes the stuff off.
He's Schwarzenegger.
He takes the stuff, he's taking the stuff off and putting it down, in front of the camera, and then he goes into his thing. Like, he put on a show, and he clearly wants attention, and he through this militia thing is what he ended up getting the attention, getting the attention he wanted. I think the dude is not well. He also, forget, he ran for president.
That's right. I forgot about that. He did.
Yeah, he ran for president. I forget what party he was in, or was it an independent party or something like that? Or maybe it was the NFAC. I don't think so. In any case, can you imagine a crazy? Well, no, yeah, we can, because we have one of them.
Can you imagine a lunatic as president? Oh wait, that already happened.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, this cat I don't think he's well. I don't think he's well. I think grandiose delusions of grandeur. I think they're gonna find that dude has some other issues or whatever case. But in any case, all that he's doing, all he's part of, and getting convincing people to follow him. That's the most concerning thing. Is like, why don't you have people? Okay, if you didn't know who or what he had done before, just listening to him talk and just watch, like, he's walking around with multiple low weapons for a protest. Where do they do that
at? Apparently in what is that, in Kentucky? Apparently they do it in Kentucky, because that's where he did it, and that's where he got charged.
Yeah, he did it in Georgia, Stone Mountain.
Yeah, there
was a video last year where they marched up to where was supposed to have been the Confederate. I don't know what it was supposed to be. He's on the bullhorn calling out, the KKK or whatever to come out. Whatever. Why? What are you doing?
Marching a lot of people to their deaths. Guns ain't nothing to play with, right? Like, those aren't toys. And I'll say that. And it makes me nervous. It makes me afraid. It makes me angry when people play with guns like that, and they play with other people's lives like that. So, follow who you want, but don't mistake charisma for intelligence. Don't mistake the loudest voice for the most right voice, and vet these people before you throw your weight behind them.
And that's the thing. I'm like, are we that starved for leadership that anybody will do?
Yes.
Like, black folks, are we that starved for leadership? Like, is that what it is?
I think so.
This dude is, in my opinion, I think he's a lunatic. Straight up.
Allegedly. He's an alleged lunatic.
Allegedly. He is out of his goddamn mind. Allegedly.
I wanted to get
screws loose.
I wanted to get attorney Felicia Pearson in to talk about it. I know I think she's doing a live stream on this subject to go over all of the legal ramifications from this and to really break that down. And I really wanted her voice in on this, but unfortunately we could not line up schedules. But I'll leave a link to her channel in the description. You can go over and check it out, because she does a fantastic job of really taking apart the legal stuff. Now, if he is convicted, he is facing 20 years in prison.
Right.
20 years.
You're going to change his name to Grandmaster Cheeks.
It'll be Grandmaster Jay.
Ow.
He's gonna have his soap on a bungee cord.
Ooh, there's so many. Okay, nope.
He's gonna get in there and meet all of those booty warriors.
Yeah, look, I want you. I like you. We can do this the easy way or the hard way. Yeah.
The man bun militia.
Good luck to him. Good luck to him. I don't see it working out in his favor because for the way I understand it, the feds don't take a case they can't win. they are like 0 for whatever. Like if they go after somebody, there's a 90-something% chance they're going to win the case. And so that's just federal.
And look, and let's say for a second, let me play devil's advocate here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say the weapon was not loaded. He really didn't point it up at the guy. Like let's say he was really just, it was a big mistake. Let's just say it, right? Not saying that happened. Let's just paint that scenario.
Okay, I'm waiting.
The feds would not allow him to be charged and get off. Because what precedent would that be setting for all of these crazed gun-toting people that are popping up in the United States now? That you can point a gun at a federal officer and get away with it?
Right.
It's not going to happen. Even if he was innocent, no.
He's very lucky. He's very lucky that he didn't get popped.
That is true.
Very lucky he didn't get popped. Like if they were just surveilling and just watching the group from the rooftop, it ain't like he's the only one that had a gun. And then the people that are with him now put in a situation where now are you going to get in a gun battle because of what he just did with feds? And again, don't get me wrong. I understand what the movement was supposed to be, but it's not like it was the Black Panthers. Black Panthers actually did some shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? They actually, and there is there's a story, and I'm not exactly clear on it, but apparently they marched into like either a federal building or a courthouse with guns, but it was allowed back then. it was allowed. It was permissible, and in California, and then quickly they changed the laws.
Yeah, those laws changed very soon after that.
Very quick. I think Ronald Reagan had a lot to do with making it a lot harder for people to carry weapons in California. But I mean, and understanding the history of the Black Panthers, there were some issues. There ended up being drug use. A lot of different things happened. They were young people as well. You don't even think about these guys. The Black Panthers were in their 20s. You know what I'm saying? That movement, that was a young movement. So within that, there were mistakes and stuff that they made, and they were no match for the federal government. Ultimately, that helped to it led to the demise, but also, you know what I mean? And there's a lot to be said. I'm saying you can't really compare this guy's movement with the Black Panther. It's left and right of each other completely. I get that's what he was trying to do. That's what, the ambition was to get, but no. Black Panthers did more than just walk around with guns. They were actually doing stuff in their community. And again, I don't know what this group, the NFAC, if they actually did stuff in people's communities or not. I don't know. I don't know that for sure. I suspect all they did was walk around and cosplay.
Look, so I'm sorry. the word cosplay, I can't even use it anymore because you know where I'm going with this, right? It makes me think about Bill mixing drinks, right? Like,
oh, you mean cosplay? I don't know. I don't be over drinking on Bill's. You don't leave no drink around at Bill's house because cosplay. I use that word in a sentence. That's the one. I use that then.
Oh, you just won the spelling bee, bro.
Hey,
let's get off of this guy, man.
Yeah, man. I know, but the feds ain't.
And neither will Bubba. Him and R. Kelly go share a cell.
Even R. Kelly goes, I don't want to be in the cell with this crazy mom. Crazy. I just like kids.
Oh my God.
These are bad jokes, people. I'm so sorry. In any case, speaking of bad jokes, Kanye invited Marilyn Manson to Sunday school. Isn't it Sunday school? What's this?
Sunday service is what he calls it.
Sunday service. More cosplay. They were all dressed in white. Marilyn Manson was there. Also, Justin Bieber was there. Also, I hear he was trying to play it and be on the low, but he was there. And Kanye's eyebrows and hair was not.
I was looking for a picture of him with the lack of eyebrows.
I
can't find one.
He looked like Ronnie DeVoe from New Edition.
Oh.
A surprised look on his face. You remember Ronnie used to do that look in his all his pictures. Kanye looked like that. He looked like a depressed version of that.
You look like a depressed Ronnie DeVoe.
Depressed version of Ronnie DeVoe.
Oh my God.
You look like a sick Eminem. That's what he looks like. Like an Eminem with nope, I ain't gonna say it. I ain't gonna say it. That's hell with it. He like an Eminem with cancer. Sorry. Go there. Sorry.
Oh my God. I can't even with that dude anymore, man. I want him to get his the dosage of his meds fixed, and I want him to stay on them. And that's all I can say, bro.
I've said it before. I don't want to hear nothing Kanye have to say until he gets in front of the camera and go, "Hey, look, black folks, I'm sorry. My bad. I'm tripping. I'm trying to get my stuff together. Me, the Lord, and my doctor. I'll be back."
I feel real bad about that slavery comment. My bad.
He disrespected Harriet Tubman. He disrespected ancestors in calling slavery a choice. And hell, what you think he meant to say, I heard what he said.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's where I'll go with that. And that's all I got to say about that.
So can I take a quick second to defend one Mr. Nick Cannon?
Absolutely.
Nick Cannon has been getting a little heat because his new talk show didn't come out the box as strong as people thought it would. I think his first week or so, he cumed like 400,000 viewers or something, which frankly, that's nothing to shake a stick at, right?
Nationally, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, but it's not the millions and millions and millions that, denotes a successful show. And I put air quotes on that, right? Because there are some shows that I think were amazing that did not draw those big, huge audiences, and they got an opportunity to continue to go. So I hope that they don't cancel the Nick Cannon show because of that. And I've sat on the show and I've said, look, I don't particularly love the show, and it's not because it's a bad show. It's because it's not geared towards me. It's geared toward a female, a middle-aged to younger female demo. So it's just, it doesn't appeal to me, but I think it's a well-done show.
I mean, just if you listen to the theme song, the opening of the show, you can tell that the audience that he's going, it's got kids in it. It's a happy, hey, Nick,
Yeah.
He's not going for us. It's for his females, female demographics.
And look, and I'm perfectly fine with that. But I think people get a little bit overly critical. I think they were comparing his numbers to Wendy's numbers when Wendy first came out. The landscape is very different for Nick now, competing against Netflix, Hulu, Prime, Apple TV, Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, and I'm forgetting some, right? Viewership is so fragmented now. When Wendy launched, it was a few of those things. I think it was like Hulu and Netflix, right? All of them other things didn't exist. So I hope Nick stays in the fight. I hope that the low numbers or those numbers don't discourage him. And
I think he's fine. I think he'll be fine. He'll get there. I mean,
right. It takes time to develop an audience. It takes time to build an audience, especially on broadcast television.
Yeah. And I mean, not for nothing. I mean, at least here in New York, he's coming up behind Wendy Williams' show that hasn't been doing so well. So she's his lead in.
Yeah.
Right. So that affects numbers as well. And because Wendy has not been doing, she's been ill, and so she's still, she hasn't been able to do the show herself. They've had a series of special guest hosts on the show, and there's a bunch of issues and stuff I've seen in articles about them having to be people to stay in off to watch the show. There's a whole bunch of stuff that television world is a whole nother. But I think Nick Cannon will be fine, regardless. He'll be fine. He's still Wildin' Out is doing very well. He has his syndicated radio show. He has a bunch. He's doing films. He's got a lot of different things going on, and this show, it'll take time to build, and it'll be fine.
All right.
It'll be fine.
I just wanted to defend my man.
Yeah. As long as he don't impregnate 10 more women, he'll be good. What's funny? I watched the show. They have a celibacy clock on the show. They have a celibacy clock for him. Counting down to when it's hilarious. So yeah, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. Well, I don't know how to change gears on this one to go from this to this, but there's earlier I saw a report. Do you know who Alpo Martinez was?
I am vaguely familiar. He's a new legendary New York gangster or something like that.
Ex-drug dealer. The movie Paid in Full, Cameron portrayed him. His character was based on Alpo.
Okay.
Alpo did how many years? 35 years in jail.
Ooh.
I think he was in jail for a long time. He came out and was under witness protection. Because I think he got out. He was doing 35 years. He may have gotten out early. But he told allegedly, apparently. And he was on witness protection and was in Harlem and getting shot and killed in a drive-by in Harlem.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
So, I mean, that's tough. And because I don't think he wasn't into the dirt now, you know what I mean? But, some of the things that he may have done, and who knows, some of the things he may have been a part of in his past kind of may have caught up to him. Or
look, I'm sorry that happened. Gun violence
to his family, friends, and stuff like that. That's tough. He wasn't an old dude. He was only 55.
All right. So what I'm about to say is not to make light of this, but it's blowing my head off, right? 35 years in prison.
Yeah.
Like, let's name 5 things that didn't exist before he went into prison. The internet, smartphones,
smart watch, smart car. What'd you say? What?
Hub. Brazilian butt lifts.
Oh my God.
White women with ass.
Yeah. Kardashians.
I already covered that one. White women with ass.
Yeah, but technically they're not all white. They're like, isn't it like Peruvian or something like that?
Armenian. They're Armenian.
Armenian. Thank you. As that's not considered white. So,
good God, 35 years, dude. Oh my God.
Yes, no, and not to mention, Bruce Jenner was still here.
I'm glad you brought Bruce up because that would be a perfect way to segue into Dave Chappelle. Caitlyn Jenner came out in defense of Dave Chappelle's The Closer stand-up.
Yeah.
Caitlyn Jenner said, I 100% agree with Dave Chappelle. This is not about the LGBTQ community. It's about cancel culture. People shouldn't be silenced. And I almost got that quote exact, but I was very shocked at that. I really was.
Yeah. I think Caitlyn is a lot more, in tune with what's, for the most part, socially, things that are happening socially than people give her credit for. And it's hard for me to call her, but being respectful. I think some of the jokes, even some of the jokes that her standing up for him in spite of him cracking jokes about her. Because there's the joke that he said that Caitlyn Jenner won Woman of the Year and wasn't even a woman for the full year. That's funny as hell. I'm sure Caitlyn found it funny too. And it's like, but yeah, that's funny. So in any case, that's pretty big.
And then go ahead. No, and I think it was either before that or on the heels of that. Dave was doing a show, and he out and out called out. I can't remember the name of the person who started that big walkout and said, Dave Chappelle was invited to have a dialogue with us, and he declined. Dave was like, "That's a lie. Ain't nobody asked me, and I don't even know what we would be talking about." But I hate that because of this controversy, film festivals are pulling out of releasing his documentary. They're uninviting him. They don't want him around. And I think he's self-releasing in like 10 cities or something like that. But I think that's so sad. That's so sad.
Politics as usual. I mean, if it looks like it might be kind of funky, people move away from it. I get it. It's the corporate thing to do.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. But
I intend on supporting and going to see the screening of that gets here to New York. I say that for me, I'm still very squeamish about doing outings and being around a bunch of people. When I went to Versuz, me and my man, shout out to Freeze, we had the whole road to ourselves. You know what I'm saying? It was not a pack. It was on video. It looked packed. There was people on the floor. It was all jumbled up. But in the stands, we were spread out like a mug. So, if I do go, I may bring an oxygen tank with me or something. So,
you'll be in there in your own bubble. You'll be like the bubble boy.
That's right. So, oh man, yeah, good place to break it down.
Yeah,
folks,
I think we can go. Before we roll, I just want to say to Meg Thee Stallion about her hottie sauce in Popeye's chicken. No, nigga, no. No.
I don't like you.
Listen,
Someone stole your hottie sauce.
hottie sauce. I think she dropped the ball. I think she dropped the ball in marketing on that.
All right.
Because if you put a T in front of the H there, that's her song.
And her target market.
Her target market. She's marketing to thoughts all across this nation. And why not create a thotty sauce? Like Meg Thee Stallion. Because the song is, hands on my knees, something on my thought shit is what she says. Thotty sauce. Come on now. That'd have been a layup. Now, other grown women would have been like, I'm not buying that. But
I hope all grown women go, I'm not buying that. Look, I'm gonna say this real quick because we were shutting down, and this is really an old story. Kudos to her for hustling. Kudos to her for creating a career. Kudos to her for getting into a major corporation and setting some things up. Kudos to her for leveraging this into her own franchises, right? She's going to have multiple stores. But
yes,
I long to see the day when we stop appealing to that stereotype, that least common denominator. It bugs me because then that's how people see us and that's how they react to us. The infamous Hillary Clinton, I keep hot sauce in my purse. Ugh. It's just like when I saw that story, I had to go take a shower. I was like, ugh, now I can't have hot sauce in front of white people no more. Like I already can't eat chicken and watermelon in front of white people. Now I can't have hot sauce. God damn it.
I'm also kind of I'm very sensitive to that as well. But I mean, to the point, shout out to my cousin Nolan, who actually kept hot sauce in a holster. So some of it exists.
Oh my God.
Actually kept hot sauce with him. So listen, while she shouldn't have said it, or she said it as a joke, or whatever the case. Like, there's some folks, they out here. We there. But also to your point about Meg Thee Stallion, brand doing other things. Yes, shout out to her because she knows she got about 3 more years with them knees.
Her ass is too heavy.
3 more years with them knees. She got knees like Megan. In 3 years, you're gonna have knees like Betty White. So got to do something else. It's got to be a better way. She's like, I know.
You have to.
All right, folks. Hey, again, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. Hit up our website, and you can find us on all social media platforms at Unpopin Show. But go over to unpopinshow.com and find whatever medium that you like and hit the subscribe button there. You can follow along and be a part of this Unpoppin community. Got some things some great things coming up, and want to invite you all in to be a part of it. And we still got these neck gaiters because I guess COVID season's still here and it's getting cold. If you want a neck gaiter, all you gotta do is hit us up. Hit us up in the comments and let us know, and we'll just send you one for free. Don't worry about it. We'll just get it to you. The coffee mugs might be another whole nother thing. We got coffee mugs too, right?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah. So anyways, again, folks, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Until next time, peace.
Peace.